Hey, this is Liz with BigTex Worms. I'm going to show y'all today how I collect pumpkins. Sorry, I live by kind of a busy road. That's why I collect so many pumpkins though, is because I live by a busy road. I just put my trailer out by the road and put pumpkins wanted. And people bring me pumpkins after Thanksgiving. There's probably over 100 in there. And you're like, oh my word, what do you do with all those pumpkins? I do a lot of things with these pumpkins. The primary reason I started doing this was so I could start collecting pumpkins for my compost piles and my composting worms. But now, as you can see, I get a lot of pumpkins, so I've had to be a little more creative with what I do with them. So I feed them to my animals, my ducks, chickens, goats. And all I do is, it's very crude how I deal with them. I throw them over the fence and they crack open. And if they're big like this, I just throw them a couple times till they crack open. And then I let the animals eat all the insides out. So the goats usually get them first. You can see over there the goats are eating on some now. And then once they've eaten the seeds and pulp out of it, then I put the pumpkins in my worm bins or my compost pile. So very easy. You just simply put the pumpkin in your worm bin. That's it. And in about 3 or 4 or 5 days, you can lift up your pumpkin. I just put this in yesterday. You're not going to see any worms under there yet, but the worms will just be swarming under that pumpkin. So you can use the pumpkin to actually harvest your bins too, but the worms really do love pumpkin. So I go through about 10 pumpkins a week doing it this way, so 8 or 10 probably. So those pumpkins that are out on the trailer, they will last me feeding my animals and my worm bins for about 2.5 or 3 months. And people always ask me, how do you store them? I do nothing. The cold weather stores them. I use the pumpkins that are that are already cracked or a little bit rotten first. Of course, I don't feed rotten pumpkins to my animals, but I will put those in my compost piles. And I do have a lot of volunteer pumpkin plants that come up in my compost pile over there every year, but that doesn't bother me at all. I just let them grow, and it provides cover to keep my compost piles moist. And then I just uproot them and add them to the compost pile. So it's just part of the cycle. So these are just 3 of my outdoor worm bins. My worms stay alive all winter long out here in Texas. I do nothing to insulate them or prepare them for the winter or anything. They just do just fine, but we don't get really cold here in Texas. And then I have several more bins like this that are inside the barn. So if anyone shows interest, I'd be glad to walk you through how I operate these bins. Just leave a post and I can make one of those videos about how I operate the 100-gallon galvanized tub bins. Hope you enjoyed this video.